this draft underway. So, ladies and gentlemen, the road to BlizzCon, July in North America, going to be continuing on here into the round of 64. Ascent and the Hardcore Caravan. Let's see what they're going to be bringing to the table for them drafts, Sham 2.
That's right. Let's get on into that draft. We're going to be going to the Battlefield of Eternity, Jester. So, this next game may take an eternity.
Oh, there it is. The only
issue is we're not immortal, but they'll be fighting over the immortals. So let's get into the draft. First pick, first ban. Zeratul out.
Yeah, I'm not entirely too sure that's worth it as a first ban, but Hardcore Caravan just setting themselves up saying we don't have to deal with the Zeratul here. Ascent, they have been actually banning out their supports against their opponents, as we saw with that 2-0, but it is actually going to be the first ban Jaina. Now, let's talk a little bit about Battlefield of Eternity while these picks come in, Shamty. What have you been seeing as consistent picks on this map?
We actually see a lot of first picks, first bans on Kerrigan. Because of all the little circles that the Immortals pop up during those team fights, you can easily just use the Primal Grasp and pull them into the circles and keep them stunned for a very long time, and then throw up your Impaling Blades and stun them again, and really just lock down an opponent with just one character for a billion seconds. 1 billion.
1 billion!
For almost an eternity. However, already both these teams, neither of them going for that first pick, first ban. In fact, look at this.
I know.
Ascent has picked up an Abathur with their Johanna.
And you know what? This draft is actually going ridiculously fast so far, because now we actually have the next round of picks. Malfurion, Muradin, and Kel'Thas are going to be making up these first picks before the next ban phase coming out for blue side. And so far, pretty solid stuff. I mean, the range, if it's not going to be Scouting Drone, it's going to be probably the Moonburn from the Malfurion. But level 4, Elun's Grace, lends itself very well to this map, because there's like that fighting middle area just plain sucks for vision.
Oh yes, and not only that, but it's so dangerous as a healer because there's very, very tight corridors, a lot of choke points. You want to be as far away from that fight as possible, and Malfurion with that Elun's Grace is going to be able to do just that. Meanwhile, second bans coming on in for both these teams. Tassadar getting banned out here by Ascent, denying that vision as you were just talking about, so incredibly pivotal. Illidan getting banned out there by Hardcore Caravan.
Not entirely too sure we would have seen it anyways from Ascent, but they do threaten it with that Abathur. And now you see the Tassadar ban. There's no vision that can. There's no vision in terms of like having the Tassadar there. The Oracle mental acuity is absolutely brilliant in that middle area. So that's going to be a big ban out. But you know, how many times have we seen Illidan, and how many times have we seen him actually succeed in this current meta?
If he's paired up with an Abathur and they get a Rhaegar, it's actually a pretty big thing to go against. So I'm actually pretty glad that they take out that Illidan, because letting the enemy team have the Abathur already, he's got a great amount of pushing potential on this map. Just because of how long those middle of the map fights last, the Locusts are actually able to do a good amount of work. But you don't want to let them have the Locusts and the Illidan synergy on this map. That's just way too much. So taking out the Illidan, it's worth it.
All right, so they do take out the Illidan, Rhaegar, and now Falstad. They're going for a bit more of that global pressure coming in with that mounted dwarf. Now, I was kind of curious, with that Abathur threat and the Rhaegar, were they actually going to be looking into a Butcher? I mean, Illidan is out, Zeratul's out, we still have a Kerrigan, still have a Butcher. Butcher can do absolutely fantastic things on this map with that charge, because he can go into a lot of these small area spaces with a Furnace Blast on top of it. But we're going to have to see if that will actually emerge. We got 2 more picks here from the Hardcore Caravan, and so far they don't really have an answer for that lane soak against Abathur.
Pick up a Tyrande with their Malfurion. I'm curious to see what they're going to be doing. We saw a Tyrande last game as well. Tyrande is now on the rise here.
On the rise for about 2 weeks now. Yeah,
she's been popping back up quite a bit with the Muradin already. That's pretty nice synergy. Their last pick has to come on in here now. They're really thinking about what they want to go for. They've got the Kel'Thas. They've got a good amount of range damage already. They could go for the Butcher, as you were mentioning.
A really nice pickup.
They don't have they have a Malfurion, which I was talking about before.
They kind of need a damage roll. If it's not going to be damage roll, I mean, we've seen double tank now a bit. It didn't work. It has been something that has been coming back a little bit from the meta. Zagara would be absolutely great here, because I think at level 13 with Mutalisk, you now have like that flying unit on the map, and that will give you that vision over some of these walls. And they will chase down their targets, and it's a good amount of information control to go alongside owls as well as creep.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, speaking of generals, whoa, we get the Azmodan pickup here for Hardcore Caravan. Now, that's a great counter to Abathur's push, pick up those generals of hell. But I would have liked Zagara here, as we were just talking about. Creep in the middle of the map, so good. Mutalisk's able to run over all of those little nooks and crannies and do some pretty good damage. And Ascent with their last pick.
Would you believe that Tychus is actually ridiculously good against Azmodan?
No.
No?
Grenades?
Well, the grenades don't stop the laser anymore, but...
Well, after level 13, if you pick up March of Sin, then yeah, they wouldn't stop them because of the daze mechanic, but...
Right, so early on, Tychus can actually bully around and chase around Azmodan, because if you time out the grenade, you can actually stop the cast of the Globe of Annihilation. Plus, you're going to have Melting Point for the push. Goes great with the Abathur, the global presence of Falstead. I don't think Ascent is... Ascent has a really nice team fighting potential, but I think that their stronger emphasis here is for the pushing down those lanes.
Yeah, I completely agree. As long as... Well, I'm curious to see if that Tychus is going to go for Melting Point, though. We still see a back and forth between that level 4 overkill talent, where it's 15% increased range, if I remember correctly the numbers, or Melting Point. Melting Point got a little bit of a nerf in the last patch, but it's still a very viable talent. And they've got the Abathur already. Falstad can easily keep pushing those lanes for a good amount of time before they have to jump in and fight that immortal fight. It's going to be an interesting composition coming out here from Ascent.
Yeah, so, as I said, I kind of like their team fighting potential. I think they have a bit better of a split pushing potential. Azmodan with that General of Hell at level 4 for the promote will be able to do some work in terms of trying to counter push that, but the longer these fights go, the better Ascent is going to be looking in order to get a lot of that experience and big experience gains like the level 4 mark, the level 7 mark, because you're going to have that first immortal in and around the level 4 mark. If you have that level lead going into it, it lasts all the way up to 7, you can use that talent to your advantage for a big push here in the middle.
All right, so let's get on into this game, Jester. Spawning over here on the left-hand side, it's the Hardcore Caravan. They've got their good friends over here. We've got Jamin on Azmodan, Urar on Kael'thas, Rioleth on Tyrande, Halen on Malfurion, and Tonrin on Muradin.
Quite the names, but Halen be jammin' in the south. I love that. And once again, Ascent, they hit a flawless set of victories in the round of 128, and here they are in the 64. Zevel, Subs doing the worm there in the mid with the Skeletor, Emperor, Parakletos, and a Mr. Tobacco. And again, Mr. Tobacco not running the Tychus. Worlds could have collided right there.
Right? But he can't. He can't anymore. They took away the cigar, so he's not Mr. Tobacco anymore. He's just Mr.
If you can talk about Deckard Payne, I can talk about a smoking Tychus. All right.
Oh, you can. You can talk about the smoking Tychus. I'm just saying that Mr. Tobacco, I don't know, man. Without that cigar,
all right,
can't beat Tobacco.
Something I noticed, it is going to be the 4-1 split for Ascent, but it's actually a 3-2 split going the way of the Hardcore Caravan. And look at how many mines are in that bush. If we kite someone right through that, that could be a really quick first blood.
That could, and that's what's the great thing and the great potential of those Abathur mines. Man, he's putting even more down there. He's just making sure that is absolutely stacked. 6 mines hanging out there in that one bush. I'm wondering if Emperor can actually lure them in there.
All right, Taste of Blood is going to be big. Oh, it was actually the rotation top. Is this going to be a quick double? It will. Azmodan, again, I talked about the Tychus. He will chase down that Azmodan early because there's nothing Azmodan can do against that overkill. But the double as well on top of the Malfurion. It looks like Tonrin saw that bad things were going. He will get some of this soak, and it won't be a big level lead. At the same time, 2 quick kills. Got to be feeling good for Ascent.
Right, this is going pretty well for them already, especially if they can get that level 4 just a little bit earlier. Now the Immortals starting to spawn up here. Emperor trying to lure them into the trap. But Admiral Akbar already on, apparently, the hardcore Caravan, but apparently the trap wasn't just the mines, but also that kill they got on Kael'thas as Zevil came in from the bot. And that was a pretty good setup there for them. They pick up yet another kill, gives them a little bit of map control, and they can now start wailing away on that Immortal.
And it does look like the hardcore Caravan is going to be starting to set up shop into this top one. Mr. Tobacco on that Uther, on that Abathur. No Uther here today, ladies and gentlemen. He's just going to be able to provide a lot of this, vision, but it doesn't look like we're able to race, that effectively against the combined might of Ascent so far.
Yeah, and with the 50-50 fight now, both these Immortals are in defensive positions. They're actually on each of their team's sides. So it's going to be a little bit easier here for... I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier here for hardcore Caravan because they've got a little bit more of a ranged, focused composition to be able to slowly chip away at that Immortal. I'm curious to see if that Asmodee is going to start throwing some globes to really start doing some work, but it looks like not.
Well, remember, I was talking about those level advantages, right? We're level 4 to 3. It's a talent tier advantage for Ascent, but they're not going to be pushing in with it. In fact, they're trying to split up the forces here of the hardcore Caravan. You saw them bottom, it brought the Kael down there. Now we got 2 into the top, and this is now leading us to a great DPS session on top of that Immortal. They're going to be jumping into Emperor, but still, I mean, that is not an angel on good wings at this point.
Really weird build coming out of here from the Abathur, going very support heavy. Sustained Carapace and regenerative microbes. Anytime he pops that Carapace, it's going to be a 50% longer duration, and also put a 7 health per second heal on that target as well.
And allows it to persist even after the symbiote ends. So you will get a good amount of healing out of it by the end of it all. Pericletos in the mid is going to be showing us the power of the Tychus and that Abathur together. Look at Tonran just drop.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. The overkill buffs going down on his talents as well, picking up the armor-piercing rounds and the spray and pray. And this is going to be a very easy Immortal for them to pick up here. Wow. Absolutely annihilating the opponent's 5,800 health is going to be part of the shield here for that Immortal. And he's going to be pushing down the top lane. It looks like they are deciding to push down the bot lane. Ascent with some very strong decisions.
Again, like Subs has been soaking out top. Zevil with that flying maneuvering about. He has been pushing down bottom there as well. We almost have a 2-level lead coming into this. And now with a very healthy Immortal, is this actually going to be, the supporting on top of that Immortal, or are they going to be splitting? It does look like Ascent is going to be eventually transitioning top. But they haven't, I think they missed an opportunity to push down both lanes at the same time with it.
Yeah, I feel like I have to agree with you there. It could have been easily the ability to push both those lanes. They don't have a Sylvanas, however, so that really doesn't mean that they easily could have taken out both the lanes very easily, but they still could have done a good amount of damage, taking out probably both lanes. Actually, no, they already took out the both lanes towers, so I guess really there was no better option there.
Ember just comes straight in from below, right through that tower. But he had the Abathur on top of him as well. In terms of the level 7, again, looking at the Carapace talents, network Carapace. So it will actually now go on minions and mercenaries for the creep wave. Now, this is an interesting idea as a counter to the Asmodee globes.
It is, because now they can not only heal their waves back up, but have shields on both their waves while they're fighting in the middle for those Immortals. So it's a very interesting build here for the Abathur to have this split-pushing, Carapace-focused build.
It is very...
And if you put that together with the Johanna's Laws of Hope, man, Johanna's going to have a lot of regen.
Absolutely. She's going to be an unkillable machine, which is, a really good way to go as Johanna's are wont to do. We got a double creep push coming into the top. It is basically bringing all the boys to the yard. The hardcore Caravan is 5-man defending into this top lane, but they're also not getting any of these mercenary camps now as well. And I say this a lot, I know I do, but when there's no objectives on the floor, you turn to mercenaries. And so far, 3 out of 4 have gone the way of Ascent.
Yeah, they've picked up so many different mercenary camps, and now they have to fight with the Asmodee alone up in the top lane against those Locusts and the rest of the creep waves. And then the 4-person stack here in the bot lane coming out there from Ascent as well. So they're playing a very split-focused composition so far, which I think is taking pretty good advantage of the map's mechanics.
So something that I didn't notice is I've actually never seen network Caravans actually work, but the creeps themselves don't actually get the visual of the shield. It's just their hit point bar that gets modified. So I've been actually looking for like, these big shield icons because, every time we see a Caravan, it's like green, kind of null show around everyone, right? Just like everything right here. But it doesn't actually spread that visual. So that's kind of interesting to think about. They might not even know from Caravan.
Oh man, actually thinking about this, look at the huge amount of CC coming out there from the hardcore Caravan. They were actually able to pick up the Tychus, and Mr. Tobacco almost went down as well. They do a pretty good job of defending their immortal.
Maybe it just doesn't work on mercenaries. Either way, I'll keep an eye on it. But look at that shield. I mean, the shield, you can't bust those shields. The shields don't go away. And now Asmodee with the dunk, he's not going to get a lot of value. In fact, how much value has he had so far? 24, Shamtu.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Hopefully he can start picking up a lot more stacks very quickly once he gets that black pool later on, but until then, 24 at 7 minutes? That's very, very low.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, level 10 has come out here.
Not where you want to be.
No, not at all.
Control K gets rid of that. Cool. Great. So Asmodee's information will take a little bit of a nosedive. Now, this is going to be, or at least this was posturing to be a really good immortal, but at the same time, with those level 10 talents, there's really not too much Caravan could have done about that. So another, pretty healthy immortal is going to be start marching its way through. And I was curious, will this be clone? Will this be monstrosity? You can see the monstrosity doing work with the entire creep wave shielded into this bottom lane.
Oh my god, this is going to be such a terror of a build. Look at this, already just runs in symbiotes just to give all of the creep wave and a huge shield, and then all of a sudden just starts walking away again. And meanwhile, in the top lane, they've got kills going down there on the Malfurion, on the Tyrande. They've got this huge, huge immortal pushing with them. Ascent is playing this game absolutely ridiculously.
I'm going to have to start reevaluating some of my Avatar builds after this. That network Caravan, it lends itself so well on this map. I mean, look at this. Like, the monstrosity pushing bottom. What happened top? 4v5 defense. And 4v5 without a tank is not really a 4v5, as you saw. 2 takedowns already. Fort gone. The immortal's still standing. It's going to push right through these towers. It's not going to get any kind of big keep damage, but just absolute flawless play coming out of Ascent so far. 6 kills to 1, 2-level lead. The monstrosity is still pushing bottom with his legion of shielded up creeps. It's that's double Fort on that one push.
Yeah, very, very nice split push coming out there, and already retreating with the symbiote, trying to get on in there. But oh my god, Halen taking so many hits. Has to back up.
That's a very powerful monstrosity right now. It has soaked 3, 4, 5 creep waves. It consistently has the Avatar hat on it, and he is moving it backwards and forwards so that it doesn't really take the brunt of the damage. It's not just kind of mindlessly pushing. He's very much in control of it. And the rest of the team, because there's so many people focusing on the bottom, 2 more creep camps are now going to be pushing down this top.
278 attack damage on that evolved monstrosity. He's trying to run away with it. He's going to be able to successfully get away with it. Rhaegar even coming in to heal it.
But top, it's just like it's another engage. This team is so split from the Caravan. I don't know how that blessed shield didn't actually hit Rylith, but Zevil not going to quite get. Well, all right, he's not even going to hit anything with any skill shot there. But still, look at this laser going down. The rest of the team is here. They're starting to work on this keep. Asmodee nowhere even near for this defensive position, and Kael'thas is still respawning.
Yeah, and they're trying to handle this, but I don't think they can. There's a Starfall to at least give them a little bit of time to hold off this wave. They are going to be able to take out most of the cows, but they're going to take out the Shaman as well. So they're going to be able to clean up both these mercenary waves. But look at this. The keep is already down to almost about half health.
Half health keep, no meal inside. I'm a little afraid to click on this monstrosity. I can't even click on this monstrosity.
295 attack damage.
Oh, because I hid the silly thing. There it is. 295 and counting. It's up to 4,000 health. It's getting heals from Mr. Tobacco. This is the same monstrosity from the second immortal, and now here we go again with these immortals.
He's not moving on into the mid lane. He's actually just going to use this as another heroic body. And a very smart way to play with the symbiote already. He's going to have that network carapace. Well, actually, it's not going to really affect his other heroic heroes.
It won't affect the other heroes.
Yeah,
but 295 damage plus, everything else from the hat. That is the hardest hitting unit on the map right now.
And he can go very, very deep.
Look at this!
Look at how much damage Urar is taking. He's got to back up, but the spine's coming in there from Abathur as well. Emperor joining the dive against them, and there's a huge Hinterlands Blast. Actually, not actually hitting too much.
Oh, he got him! Kel'Thas just turned right around, and oh my goodness, 3 takedowns. We don't even need Hinterlands Blast, apparently.
Look at this monstrosity.
Yep, I am in awe.
To play monstrosity.
I am in awe. The shields have been healing it. The Rhaegar's been healing it itself. It's doing 313 auto attack damage. And that's the 50-50 fight. This could actually be a 100% immortal. We're just going to go and take away the Sippy Cup. And just, I'm a little mind blown by the strength of this Ascent team in this tournament.
And now it's just going to start pushing up top because network carapace plus everything else, all those creeps going to get healed back up too. Oh my gosh.
Yep. This is a terror. This is a split pushing terror that we haven't really seen since we nerfed the backdoor builds of Abathur. It's a really interesting pickup here early on. Now you might have thought it threatened the melee, but this is just a threat all on its own.
It really is. And he's got the Bombard Strain on those Locusts as well. This is just so incredibly interesting to watch.
Did it finally die? Because I don't see. Oh, it's right there.
No,
Never mind.
It's still there. It's still moving around.
Abathur is not actually on any of his other teammates. He's not putting down toxic nests, or if he is, it's very uncommon to see. And he is basically just that body right now.
But a very, very influential body indeed. I mean, look at how much damage he's able to do. He's now starting to push up this top lane. Meanwhile, there's the Immortal in the bot lane. It is chewing through that wall up there, but oh, really nice setup there of crowd control coming in here from the hardcore Caravan. But with the Condemn and the Hinterlands Blast, they are going to have to run away. There is the Murder going down there. Ryla, the Tyrande, has to disengage, uses a sprint to get away. Meanwhile, top lane, there's Abathur taking out that top keep, the bottom keep. Easily going to go down here on the Immortal. I don't think there's anything they can do against this.
348 damage and counting. Again, that is the hardest hitting unit. Well, maybe not. This Immortal is actually doing a huge amount of damage as well, but pushing in both lanes, pushing in both keeps, and with the sweet spot, the 16-13, Tyrande's just going to absolutely drop, and now this Immortal is starting to work on this core.
Oh my god, I think this is the quickest battlefield of eternity we've seen here, Jester. The Immortal still on the core with the monstrosity as well. They are absolutely demolishing this core. 60% end falling. The monstrosity still alive. Emperor trying to stay alive for as long as possible. They have level 18 versus level 14. There's the Abathur doing the worm, but the monstrosity stopped actually attacking. It's actually attacking a promoted minion. He looks like he's gonna, take control of that again, but it doesn't even matter. There's the core.
Once again, Ascent is showing us that they have been playing this game, the strength of their collective MOBA knowledge under their belts, and they are just swinging through these brackets. Round of 1, 28-2-0, and now a very convincing win here in the round of 64 to boot. It is absolutely insane to watch. And, again, I've never thought of Abathur like that on that map, but those strengths were scary.
I am without words. I am without words with what that Abathur was able to accomplish. 13,000 experience contribution, about 4,000 more than his other teammates. 97,000 siege damage. That's 40,000 more than the Azmodan on the opposite team. That was super well played there by Sue.
We didn't check a lot of those Azmodan stacks, but I think at the 6-minute mark he was at 24, and that was a 14-minute game. So he very likely had less than 100 because there were no waves that he almost was able to pick up. They didn't have the Johanna, first of all. So the Azmodan as the last pick was a little weird. They didn't have Moonburn, or at least I never really saw it come into effect. The only other kind of big wave clear to go with Azmodan to help him stack is Kael'thas. And even then, we had the network carapace as the counter. He just did not get any value.
He really didn't, and that was a completely different Abathur build than I think any Azmodan would ever feel like they're going against. Normally we see Abathurs go with the increased pressure on the W so that they shoot farther, and then all the spine builds and all that.
Yeah,
but
it's all battle Abathur.
This carapace base minion pushing Abathur, absolutely wild. And I mean, I know we're harping on this, but whew, that was awesome.
Whew, it was. All right, game number 2 is going to be coming your way in just a short while here, ladies and gentlemen. Ascent and Hardcore Caravan. I suspect we're going to see an Abathur ban from the Hardcore Caravan, but when we do return, we will find out exactly what that is. Shamtu and FourCourtJester here for the Road to BlizzCon 2015 in July, North Americas. See you guys in a few.